What's up, movie crew? Welcome to night 17 of 31 Nights of Horror. Tonight's episode is also the first ever episode of Let's Rewatch. I am here at my local theater, The Venue. As you know, I've mentioned this place before. This is the movie theater where I live that I enjoy going to. And I am going to be seeing the original Texas Chain Saw Massacre on the big screen. For those that don't know, the original Texas Chain Saw Massacre is my favorite slasher film of all time. So I'm about to go see this on the big screen for the first time ever because I was not alive when it was in theaters. Now I do want to give everyone the heads up. Unlike Let's Watch, this is Let's Rewatch. Meaning, there will be spoilers. Keep that in mind when you watch my thoughts on this after seeing it on the big screen. So, reminder, there will be spoilers. But this is also a movie that first came out in, I believe, 77 or 78. So you've had a couple of decades to watch it. Just saying that now. But I'm going to go in here, watch it again, or in this case for the first time ever on big screen, and come back and talk about it with all of you. Alright, so I have just got out of seeing Texas Chain Saw Massacre. Alright, so I gotta say I did not watch it last year in my Halloween viewing because I did have to cut some stuff short because of a change in my regular schedule. But everything's still pretty much the same. The main character and her brother inherit a house. They go looking around, wandering around the land. They hear the sound of a generator. They need gas. And that's where the fun begins. I have to say, I did forget, for a movie that's called Texas Chain Saw Massacre, there was only one chainsaw death. Now, I do remember from watching this movie, the first time I ever watched it, I did watch a documentary where the late, great Tobe Hooper did mention that this was made at a time when there was no PG-13 rating. It was either PG or it was R. And he was trying to get a PG rating, so there was some stuff that was implied or hinted at. So he had to keep everything to a minimum and still ended up with an R. And given what was actually in the movie, I can completely see why. I gotta say, one of the biggest things that still gets me when I watch it is when you find out that the gas station attendant is Leatherface's dad. Then, in one point in the movie, Sally sees someone in a wheelchair, and then you find out later that's Leatherface's grandfather. And the dinner table scene is still creepy AF. They did such a good job with that, with the scenery, the aesthetics, what they were trying to get across. Such a good job. Again, this is my favorite slasher movie ever. And again, it did remind me why I enjoyed this movie as much as I do. Why I sat through so many crappy sequels, remakes, reboots. And this still holds up for me. You got a group of kids in the 70s who pick up a hitchhiker, which at that time was the norm. Find out he's a psychopath, they throw him out. They go to a house just needing a little bit of help, and next thing you know, they get attacked by a maniac. And the movie definitely did leave room for a sequel, unlike... Alright, I love Nightmare on Elm Street. I've been watching the Halloween movies, as everyone who's been keeping up with the series knows. But of all the horror movies, this is the one where they truly left room for a sequel, which we ended up getting with Texas Chain Saw Massacre 2. So I've got to give them credit where credit is due. And the weird part is, I don't think Tobe Hooper ever intended to make a sequel. It was something that just kept getting asked, because after this happened, we got Halloween. Then we got Friday the 13th. Then we got Nightmare on Elm Street. I'm sure I'm forgetting a few others that have happened between Texas Chain Saw Massacre Part 1 and Part 2. But he had other plans. But then all these other movies, it looks like the killer is dead, and then they make a sequel. And at the end of this one, Leatherface is still alive. It ends with him just like wielding the chainsaw up in the air after Sally gets away. Again, for anyone that wants to know, I did say at the beginning of this is a rewatch, meaning spoilers. But again, I have to say, watching this on the big screen for the first time ever was a great experience. Major, major shout out to the venue for having this in theaters, given that I wasn't alive yet when the movie first came out in theaters. So initially, this was my planned movie for night 31 because, again, favorite movie. I think I've got another movie I'm going to wrap up with for the end of the month. So hopefully, me doing this one will... I've got ideas, all right? But that's going to do it for this one. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. You like what you see? Leave a thumbs up. Comment down below if you have seen the Texas Chain Saw Massacre. And where does this movie and Leatherface rank for you compared to the Nightmare on Elm Street movies, or Friday the 13th, or Halloween, or Hellraiser, or I'm sure, again, I'm forgetting some. And where does Leatherface hold up compared to Freddy, Jason, Michael? Let me know your thoughts. But that's going to do it for this one. So thank you all for watching, and tune in next time.